What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, back to DJing. Today we're going to have a look at the EV ELX 218 SP. So stay tuned and we'll get right into it. Alright, so EV ELX 218 SP. Let's have a look at these subs. But first, I got a package here straight from Webb at DJ Life Clothing. I'll put the link in the description. He's got a YouTube channel. I'm sure you've probably seen him already, but if you haven't, check him out. He's one of my favorite DJs on YouTube. And so I'm going to go ahead and open this up here and have a look. I already know what it is unless he threw anything extra in there, but there we go. DJ Life Clothing, DJ Webb. Check him out on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description for both his channel and his clothing store. Let me see if I can nail his little editing trick here. What do you guys think? I don't know about you, but I've got the COVID-20 on right now, so I made sure I ordered an extra size up, and his clothes do fit a little bit tight, so you might want to do the same, especially if you're like me and you got a few extra pounds on from sitting around not lugging your gear around the last year or so. So anyway, let's get into the EV ELX 218 SP. So the first thing we'll do is talk about the features of these subs, and then I'll talk about my experience with them so far, and then I'll do a quick teardown, show you guys what it looks like on the inside, what the magnet looks like. Might open up the amp to have a look at that. And then we'll talk about the pros and cons, and then we'll wrap it up and I'll leave you with a little bit of B-roll. And I just want to add quickly, if you guys like some of my cinematic stuff I do on this channel, like the B-roll and the coffee video and stuff like that, I just started a new channel specifically for that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in my more creative side, and if you want some tips and tricks on how to do that kind of stuff, give me a follow on my other channel. I'll put it up here. Alright, so starting off with the price, I got these guys for $999.99 at AV Sound here in Canada, and I've looked around. They pretty much hold that value no matter where you buy them, from what I can see, and that's Canadian, of course. But yeah, about $1,000 basically for these. Probably in the States you'll get them for $700 or $800 probably, which puts them kind of about in the middle grounds as far as high end, low end. They're kind of right about in the middle. They're a step up from the low end model that EV has, the ELX model. I'm not sure if they make those in the sub though, but anyways, they're about a middle of the road sub. Class D amplifier, of course, pretty much like everything powered these days. These subs are rated at 1200 watts each peak, probably about, I'm guessing, 650 RMS, usually about half of it from what I understand. And as far as decibels, they're rated at 132 decibels calculated, so that's pretty much their best estimate at it. That would be, I believe, calculated at a meter in front of the subs. I don't know if they'll hit that. Probably not. From what I see with most speakers, even the good brands, they don't usually quite live up to their own calculated specs. So I wouldn't expect them to hit 132 dBs. Maybe as a pair they might hit 132, but they're also really strongly protected, so that limit light comes on fairly quick. And if you heat them up, I believe they'll reduce volume. I'll have to check into that before I edit this video. But anyway, 132 decibel 18-inch sub with quick smart DSP, 3 EQ presets, music, live, and club, plus sub-tops presets for specific EV tops. So if you have EV tops already, you can set it up for the specific tops that you have. So if you have the ELX, ZLX, ETX, 12, 15, and so on, you can set them up for what EV sees as their ideal settings for those tops. So good to have that. And it runs on a single knob interface, so it's one single knob that you can turn or press to work your way through the menu system. It has 5 programmable presets, so if you have a few venues that you do on a regular basis, you can program those into the presets. And say you use your 12-inch tops at this venue and you use your 15-inch tops at this venue, you can set your presets up for however you want it EQ'd at each venue and however you want it set up, and then all you gotta do is pick your preset for that venue and you're good to go. And we've got a nice cool white limiter light on the front. I like how it's nicely styled with the white color, just a small little light. not too intrusive. You can have that so it shows the power on, or the limit light, or you can have it turned off altogether. And you can do that through the DSP menu in the back. And with that, the rear display also shows when you're reaching limits, along with input level control, meters, and master volume. So you can keep an eye on all your levels that way from behind the booth. If you happen to have your subs set up out to the side of the booth, you'll be able to possibly see them depending how you have them set up. If they're in front of your table, obviously you're not going to be able to see that. But along that note, they also come with the EV Quick Smart app, which allows you to see everything from your phone. You'll get notified if you're pushing them too hard through your app, and you can have that right next to your DJ console so you don't have to worry about it. And it also gives you full control independently of all the speakers. If you notice that one sub happens to be limiting more than the other, you can turn that one down a dB or so, level them out right from your phone app. So that's really nice. I like that about it. Another thing I like about it is it comes with the EV finish. Nice durable rock guard type lining, but probably harder than rock guard. Although the only thing I don't like about that is being wood finish with the coating on it. It's obviously susceptible to damage, being chipped and that kind of thing. So you'll have to be careful with them. I suggest getting bags for them for sure. I don't have bags yet, but I haven't started gigging yet either, so they're in great shape. So I probably should get some bags myself. Lightweight construction, 15mm plywood cabinet. I'll show you that more in detail when we do the teardown. Nice and compact. I can fit both these subs in the back seat of my Dodge Dakota. I don't know how many subs you can do that with, but that's one thing I really like about these things. They're nice and compact, lightweight, easy to haul. Good sturdy handles. One handle on each side made of metal. Really sturdy. And they come in at 64 pounds a piece, 29 kilograms, and they have an 18 gauge steel grill on the front. And I really like the design of this grill. It's got the nice oval honeycomb grid style with mesh behind it. Beautiful EV symbol on the front. And again, that nice cool white front light on the front. Not too distracting, not too big, just nice and subtle. I think these things look amazing. And then you got the M20 threaded pole mount on the top for mounting your tops. I love that thing. That's how I roll right now, with the pole mount on the top. And they have a frequency range of about 40 to 145 hertz. Alright, so next I just want to talk a little bit about my own personal experience with these so far. I've only had them out to 1 gig so far, and that was the roller skate event. I have a video of that. You can check it out. I'll put it up here. It was during COVID, so it was only for a few of us roller skaters, so it wasn't a big event, but it was a medium-sized venue. So from my experience so far, I think they're going to be good for small to medium-sized venues. 50 to 250 people, I think they're going to do just fine. I could probably even push it to 300 people, I think, but it's just not going to be crazy bass. They'll do the heavy lifting while allowing me to push the tops a little bit harder, not having to put so much bass to them. And especially right now, being that my tops are 12-inch, I do plan on upgrading those to a set of probably EVs to go with these. I'll probably do 15s when I do upgrade, just to add a little bit more of that mid-bass. From having them set up in my basement here, they'll definitely overpower a house party, no problem. So if you want for that, they'll do great. And just a quick story, I got these subs one at a time. And when I got the first one, I had the cops called on me within half an hour of getting them. I had it out in the garage, I was testing it out. And yeah, cops had to shut me down, I guess. So they're pretty decent. I find that they're not quite as loud kind of in front of them, but they're louder off to the sides, which I actually think will work really well when you're using them with your tops and you have them spread out, because then they'll push out to the sides from each side of the booth, which will actually cover the center of the dance floor plus the sides. So I think they're going to actually work really well in that configuration because of that. So they're not quite as loud right in front of them, but when you get out to the sides, you start to feel it in your chest more. It's kind of weird. Like if I were just over here by my wall, I feel it hard over there, but I don't feel it as hard right here. So whatever you want to make of that. And that's also configured how they're sitting right now. So, and one thing I want to note is that I find them a little bit boomy and just a touch rattly at times. I think that's because they're made to be compact and lightweight. So it's not the thickest plywood for the cabinet or the thickest steel for the front grille. And like, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a little bit rattly. I think that's mostly why, because of this grill. But when you have a crowd and they're all dancing, nobody's gonna notice it at a venue, I don't think. I notice it when I'm up close, like analyzing them, but not just when I'm just listening to them. These things shake things down from the tiles and the ceilings. It could be other things rattling too that I'm hearing, so I don't think it's a big deal. I want to say one thing also about the connectivity to the EV Smart app. I've had just the odd problem with it. Every once in a while, especially if I haven't used them in a while, one speaker might not want to connect. So I think what I usually do is just turn my Wi-Fi off, turn the speakers off, turn everything back on, and then I'm good to go. So just once in a while, hardly even often enough to really bother me, and it's easily fixed. So just wanted to make note of that. Slight connection issues, but not too bad, and once they're connected, they work great. Okay, next I just want to step outside and show you what it looks like loading them into my little Dodge Dakota. So we'll see you in just a minute. Alright, so here we have my Dodge Dakota, and I just wanted to show you guys how nicely my sub slides right in there. Just like that. We'll have a look at the other side here quick. There you go. Fits like a glove. And we're back inside here now, and the next thing I'm going to do for you guys is a little bit of a sound test. This is not going to be anything scientific by any means. There's not much of a way I can do that on YouTube, but I'm going to play a couple samples from a couple songs for you. And I'm going to turn my mic down so it doesn't clip, just so you can kind of hear the quality. I'll see if I can maybe catch a little bit of the rattle from the grill, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, so there's a bit of a sound test for you. Don't read too much into that. Obviously the sound quality over internet and my mic and everything else is not going to do these things justice. Probably a lot of the vibration you hear is either from the mic or from the ceiling tiles or whatever else in the place rattling. For the most part, they sound pretty good in person. So let's move on to the teardown. So I'm going to take the front grill off for you, pull the woofer out, give you a look at the magnet, let you have a look inside the enclosure, give you an idea of the build quality. of course we've got spade style connectors. There we go. All right, let's dive inside here and see what this thing is made of. Get my lights set up here. Second camera. Okay, and as you can see, it's got nice big ports just below the subs. 15mm plywood, which isn't all that thick, I don't think. You can see it's a fairly thin flange for the sub. Luckily, it's got hardware on the back side for the bolts to screw into. Nice sturdy threaded mounting bolts. And as you can see, it's pretty well insulated, top and sides. And again, that's probably because it's not the thickest material for the case in the world, so they got to insulate it pretty good to help cut down on that boominess. 15mm plywood, but that's the give and takes to be able to get a lightweight cabinet. So, and you can see the amp enclosure in the back there. Okay, if you have a look here, you can see we've got a pretty standard cone. Triple surround. Not too bad. Not the thickest cone in the world though. A little bit of flex to it. And if we flip it over, you can see it's not the biggest magnet in the world. Pretty much just an average sub. Nothing special on the basket or the spiders. No venting for the spider. Just a voice coil vent on the back. Not a huge magnet, but not too bad either. So there you have that. I'll throw that back in and then we'll have a quick look at the amp. Alright, having a look at the back of the sub here now. Let's see if we can pull the amp out and have a little look. There you go, give you a little look. A couple okay sized capacitors on there. I don't know about all the rest of it. I'm not super knowledgeable electronically. I can do my share of soldering and that kind of thing, but I don't know what everything does. But I do know that good sized capacitors are good to have. So there you have it. I'll throw this back together, then we'll go through the pros and cons and we'll wrap it up. Alright, so let's quickly blow through the pros and cons, starting with the cons. First of all, slightly boomy, slightly rattly due to the little bit thinner material used on the case and the front grille. But that's what they had to do to make this thing as lightweight and as compact as it is, which I appreciate about this sub. It just depends what your needs are. And next con on the list is that they're easily marked up. I haven't marked them up myself, but I've seen them marked up. But that's pretty much par for the course for most subs, as most subs are made out of wood with a rock guard style finish. So invest in some bags to protect your investment. And then the final con on the list is that these probably won't be enough for your big school dances where they want a lot of bass. Venues like that, you're gonna want to maybe get something a little bit higher end or add something higher end to these. They might complement a pair of ETX or EKX subs well, maybe, but by themselves I wouldn't use them for large school events unless they're not too picky on having a lot of bass. But as we all know, the kids love the bass. So if you're marketing towards the big school dances, you might want to add to these or get something higher end. And as far as pros, we've got price, $999.99 here in Canada. We got weight, weighing in at 64 pounds, 29 kilograms. Compact, easy to pack in whatever vehicle you have. I got the first one because I only had a car to start with, and then I ended up getting a pickup, so now I've got two. Really nice styling. I love the front grille, how it looks. Good professional, high quality build, and with the EV name on it. Of course, EV is known for their good sound quality, which these do have. Their good sound quality. Like I said, a little bit boomy and a little bit rattly at times, but overall, really good sound quality for the most part. And that's only when I'm pushing them hard that they get boomy and rattly. So in conclusion, who do I recommend these subs for? I recommend them for the beginner DJ on a little bit of a budget, or somebody who's a little bit low on space in their vehicle or their house or their storage space, and anybody doing 50 to 250 people on average, I think can get away with these subs. If you're going above that, 300 people on a regular basis, you might want to look into maybe one of the higher end models, or have another set of subs to add to them for the larger events when you need to. I also recommend them for anybody who might need a little bit easier time loading in and out. Maybe you have a bad back or whatever. These would be great for somebody like you. A little bit easier to pick them up, put them on your cart, and then load them into your vehicle. As you can see in that clip, it was really easy for me to load it into my little Dodge Dakota. So there you go. I definitely recommend these subs for the right DJ. I love these. These are like the centerpiece of my system right now, and I'm really happy with them. So if you found some value, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.